Hello everyone, it's Shannon with Shannon's Crafty DIYs. Welcome to my channel. Today I am showing you some really super cute, fun, vintage Christmas decor DIYs. I have 3 in total to show you. 1 is super simple and 2 are thrift flip DIYs. So I hope you find those super fun and interesting to watch. So remember, I do post videos every Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 7 p.m. I would love it if you guys could hit that subscribe button and join my channel. So let's begin with the DIYs. So DIY number 1, guys, this is, I don't even know if we should call this a DIY. It is super simple, super easy. I picked up this really cute lantern from Giant Tiger out of all places. I bought this last year, still had the tag on, so I thought, you know what, this year I'm going to use it for my Christmas display. I loved the detail to the lantern as well. It did remind me of, something from the Christmas Carol movie, if you know what I mean. So I'm just decorating it to make it look more vintage and fancy. And I just loved the white color, how it had that rustic weathered look to it as well. So taking those Dollar Tree bows that just came out this year, the buffalo check, and it already had the twist tie on it already. So I just used it to adhere it to the top of the lantern. And now again, I just loved this vase filler or vase filler that we got from the Dollar Tree. This was more in the summer, but there was 2 different kinds of packages, one with regular pine cones and the other package had more like gold pine cones and whatnot. So now I'm just going to use some of the greenery from there, and I'm going to use these frosted berries from the Dollar Tree as well. These are new this year. These are new to me anyway. So I'm going to hot glue those, and I'm just going to hot glue another little pine cone. That is it for this DIY. It is super simple, super easy. If you have those lanterns from either the Dollar Tree or Dollarama, you know you can add anything to them to fit any occasion. Moving on to the next DIY. Now this was definitely a thrift flip. I made this last fall. It was a canvas poster. It said something like the king's castle until his queen arrives, something like that. So it was already black, but I just painted over the words with some black chalk paint. Again, this was in a previous DIY. So again, I'm just repurposing this DIY. I found this awesome scrapbook paper this year at Michael's. It is their value pack, as you saw. So these were $12.99, and I just picked out this paper from it. I just thought this plaid looked very vintage to me. So here I didn't really measure properly. I just measured the whole width of the sign and I just cut it out with my scissors. Now when I did that, I thought, you know what, I'm going to trim it just a little bit smaller. So I went ahead and trimmed it down 2 centimeters per side. And now I'm just going to use my glue stick and place it on the board. Now, even though this is a thrift flip, you can take those canvases from the Dollar Tree, take off the white canvas, paint or stain the wood frame underneath, and you can add your own personal plaid paper as well. And then I found this gorgeous card from the Dollar Tree. Remember, it is a Hallmark brand, name brand at the Dollar Tree. This sign looked so vintage. The Merry Christmas, I absolutely loved it. I didn't want to cut it in any way, shape, or form other than the picture itself. I could have cut out the Merry Christmas, let's say, but I just loved the whole picture all together. So you see here, I kind of just didn't put the red plaid on super straight. I tried to take it off, but the glue was already dried at that point. Oh well. So now I'm just going to use my glue stick and place the card just in the center of the plaid as well. Now I'm just going to take some of this greenery. This was actually from the Dollarama. Now I cannot remember, there was no price on it. I did buy 2 bundles of these. I believe they were only $1.50 each. I just loved this greenery though. It looked like faux pine tree leaves. So just taking a couple off the branches, and I'm going to hot glue them just to the corner. Again, you can customize this as well. You can use whatever greenery you want or whatever florals you may have. I just use the the tip of my scissors to let the glue cool. I find putting a glue gun to plastic, it takes a little longer for the glue to actually set. So I just like something like the end of my scissors so I'm not actually using my fingers to possibly burn myself. So just be careful using a hot glue gun. Now, I just picked up this greenery from the Dollar Tree. I loved the leaves on it. I still love the white berries, but I just want to use the leaves. I'm going to add them to the pine leaves just to give it a little extra texture and look to it. So this appears to be a theme here, but I definitely love this vase filler from the Dollar Tree. And you know what? This way I get to use up the whole bag. So I'm just taking some more of the pine cones from the package and just hot gluing 3 to the center of the pine leaves. And I'm just going to take this berry pick. Again, this was a 4-pack from the Dollarama for $1.25, so very reasonably priced. So I'm just using my precision scissors and just taking off a few of the berries and adding them to either side of the pine cones. So now I'm just going to reattach the base. Now this was something that I had on hand a long time ago. It was just plain plastic that I painted black. It was on the plaque horizontally before. Now I'm just going to put it on vertically just using my glue or my hot glue gun. Now I could have finished and left the sign like that. It looked great as is, but then I thought, you know what, I wanted to add a little bow to the base just to cover up if there's any hot glue showing or whatnot. So just took this red burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree, just cutting it in half just because I found it a little too wide for this project. And I'm just going to make a simple bow. All I do is just cross over the ribbon and I'm going to pinch right in the center of the bow. And I'm just going to use some floral wire that I had and just attach it to the center. And then I'm just going to take another piece of the burlap ribbon, a little bit smaller, and then just glue it over the center of the bow just to hide the wire. That is it for this thrift flip DIY. What do you guys think? I think this card looks so vintage and just completes the whole project. Remember, if you have something in your home that you are not super fond of anymore, you know you can change it for the season of your choice. That is it. So let's move on to the last and final thrift flip DIY. Guys, this sled is absolutely gorgeous, just like this. I did pick it up off the Facebook Marketplace for $6, guys, Canadian. I love it. The dimensions are 18 inches by 7 inches wide. So it's a medium-sized sled, but it already looks so vintage. So what I'm doing is I'm just removing the original yarn from it, or the original jute twine from it, and I'm going ahead and staining the whole entire thing with the Waverly Antique wax. So now I'm just going to take some more of the greenery from the Dollarama. I did have one stem that was all intact. I haven't taken any leaves off it at this point. So I'm just going to remove the long portion of the stem just with my needle nose pliers. And now I'm just going to kind of form it into place and place it on the sled. And I'm going to hot glue it to the center. And just to reinforce the greenery, I'm just using some of this floral wire and just attaching it around one of the wooden pieces on the sled. And once that was done, there was just a few little holes or gaps in the greenery. So I'm just taking some of the stems from the other branch and I'm just going to hot glue them in those spaces. So guys, I just picked up this ribbon from Walmart this year, $2.97, a little bit more expensive than the Dollar Tree, of course, but I just thought this was so gorgeous. And you know, I always go for the red and black buffalo check, but I thought how cute would this one be? And I think this plaid looks way more vintage in my opinion. So I'm just making this bow. So it seems complicated, but it's not. All I'm doing is I'm just overlapping each side. I'm going to be doing it overlapping 5 times total. The smaller flap, I'm going to make it ever so slightly smaller than the one on the back. And you'll see here in just a second, I'm just going to pinch everything in the center and use some wire to seal everything. So now the fun part of fluffing up the bow, just make it as poofy or as little as you like. Now I'm just going to hot glue the bow to the top of the greenery first before I cut the tails of the ribbon, just to know how much length I need. And then of course I always dovetail the ends of the ribbon. You don't have to do that as well. You can just always just cut them on an angle. How you like them is up to you. So now I had this one large pine cone. So what I wanted to do is make it look like it was snow covered. So I'm just taking a little bit of the Decor Art white acrylic paint and just taking my brush and just dabbing it on the pine cone leaves. And taking some of the same white paint, I'm just going to dab on some more faux snow on the pine leaves. So you guessed it, more of this vase filler using more of these pine cones. I like the fact that they're a little bit smaller than the large pine cone. They're mini, so I'm just kind of sporadically putting them all over the pine leaves and just hot gluing them in place. And instead of using the old existing twine, I'm actually using some of the Dollar Tree jute twine. It is bigger and I like it a little bit better. So it already had a piece of tape on one end. I like this trick so that way you can thread them through the holes of the sled. And I'm just going to tie simple little knots to seal everything. So we are at the end of this video. I had so much fun making these vintage DIYs, not my usual DIYs that you guys seen, and I just had so much fun just going outside of my comfort zone. And what do you guys think? Remember, thrift flips are awesome. You can find some great things on your Facebook Marketplace, in a thrift store. Just recreate it to how you like it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please remember, I do have an Instagram account as well, ShannonscraftyDIYs. I post a few more different things there too, so come on over and say hi. Please hit that subscribe button, click the bell button to be notified every time I upload a new video, and just give it a big thumbs up if you liked what you see. That's it, guys. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you later. Bye.